Hello, welcome. My name's Tina. Welcome to the Sunday Simply in Stitches knitting podcast. I hope you've had a lovely week. This is where I share all the things that I've been knitting this week. And yes, there's been quite a few cast-ons. You might have noticed there's something new that you haven't seen that I'm already wearing. I will explain myself. You may have already seen the video for this actual project. I thought it'd be fun because I thought it'd be a fun quick knit if I made a complete video just seeing about how long it takes to make something like this and how much it costs. And I also mentioned as well other yarns as well. So if you haven't checked that out, you might want to check that one out afterwards. But let me explain myself if you just want to have a quick overview of it. So this is the Holiday Slipover by Petiteknit. It is a super chunky knit, and I shall put a picture showing it in full while I tell you about it. So it's got a nice thick neckline. It's got nice big openings at the sides so you can put anything underneath. That's what attracted me to it. And it's got a split hem with a nice thick bands of ribbon at the bottom, and it's a high-low, so it's a little bit longer at the back and the front. I have made a longer version. In the pattern it's a shorter version. I'll put a picture here so you can see what it looks like in the pattern if you follow the pattern. So it's a bit shorter than that. I'm 5'8", I'm quite tall. And so I just wanted to have the extra length because I'm planning on wearing it just with jeans, not with dresses. So I thought it would be more flattering and more wearable for me if I had that longer length. The yarn that I've used is Yarn Smith's Create Super Chunky. And this is an acrylic, 100% acrylic yarn. It's Wool Warehouse's own make. You can see it there. It's lovely and soft to wear. It's really comfortable. I really liked knitting with it. Well, when I say I really liked knitting with it, I liked the softness of the yarn. It was lovely and soft, but I did struggle. Well, I think struggle is going over it a bit. But I did find working with the larger needles is harder work. Just doing each stitch is harder. And so it wasn't as fast as I thought it was going to be, just because each stitch is slower than doing smaller stitches. But apart from that, I'm really happy with the result, and I have been wearing it and enjoying it. So it's a successful knit, and I definitely think I will make another one. Not this year because we are hoping we're going into spring soon. But I would like to make one, say September time next year, to have a different one to going into the cooler weather next year, because it is just a nice versatile thing to have in the wardrobe to just throw on. And it is nice and warm. It does make all the difference as well. Because I've had it, I can wear it with shirts. I've even worn it with jumpers as well, like a thinner knit jumper. And yeah, it's been comfortable. And then if it gets warm, just take it off. So yes, definitely glad I knit this one. And I will knit one again in the future. It's a nice straightforward pattern. And yeah, very happy with that one. So that is my first confession of what I hadn't told you about before. Shall we go into other confessions first before we go on to the things, the whips that I have been carrying on with? Well, I over-ordered on the yarn, like twice as much as I needed. So because I want to be stashless, I wanted to start using up the extra yarn straight away. So I've actually cast on, I've made a small start of just a cowl. So I'm just doing a garter stitch cowl, but I'm doing just a nice neat edge on there. So I'm just slipping the last 3 stitches of every row, and that's just creating that for me. So literally end of every row, just slip the first 3 stitches with the yarn in front. And it just makes a nice edge. So what I'm thinking, I'm not sure if I want to have like an infinity cowl that's going to go around a couple of times, like nice and thick and cozy, we live in the countryside and we quite often go for a walk around the fields. So I thought that would be really nice and cosy if I've got double lay around. So I was just doing it flat so I can just join it at the end. So I might do 2 layers, or another idea is, just because it is so thick already with that super chunky, is if I did a twist in it before I joined it to add some more interest and had it round. It's hard to show it like this, but yeah, just had a twist. So it'd be as thick as a normal cowl. But I don't know, I'm quite liking to do the 2 like an infinity and go around twice and have quite a big thick one, but we shall see how much I want to knit on it after I've been knitting this. But this is literally, because it is just knit and then slip in those last 3, it's just a project that when I'm cooking or something I can literally just pick it up, put it down and not really think anything about it, and it's just big and easy to knit. So I've got no plans of trying to finish that off quickly. If it doesn't get finished for this winter, then I shall just carry on with it in the autumn and things, and it'll be ready for next year. So that is my other little cast on. One more cast on. Now, my Whitmore, it's sort of been put to the side for the moment because I wanted to knit this, because like I say, I'm just aware that even though we're going through a really cold snap now, that we are going to be looking, at the end of next month, we're going to be looking at spring. And so because I had this super chunky and I also had a quantity of chunky yarn, I thought I really want to be wearing that this year. I don't want to have to wait until the end of the year before I can use that. So I thought, why don't I just move the Whitmore to the back burners and then use the chunky next, and then I'll go back to the Whitmore. So that's what I did. So I have in here the Life Chunky by Stylecraft, and this is a 25% wool and 75% acrylic, and it's in a nice like purpley but peachy, not peach, pink, pinky purpley colour. It's a very berry, I would call it. It's a berry colour. So I have cast this on, and this is as far as I am at the moment. So I've done a provisional cast on and the neck for the chunky dahlia. So I should put a picture up on the screen what it looks like. So it's lovely and chunky, and it's got these big like petals. Could be leaves, could be petals. I'm calling them petals in this instance because I wanted to use this berry colour. And it says dahlia, so that's a flower, isn't it? So I thought this is a flower colour, so I'm going to use this. So as I say, just got the cast on at the moment. So I'm going to be knitting away on that. So it's got a round yoke, so there's going to be increases on the yoke. And yeah, I want to get that finished so I can wear that before the warmer weather. So loving the yarn. Yarn once again feels nice, not as soft as the super chunky, probably because it's got that wool more in it, but it feels more woolly. I don't know. I generally, when I'm checking yarn, see if it's soft enough, I usually check it on my wrists. Some people check it on their neck, don't they? Other people do the unicorn on the head. But that's a bit embarrassing in the shop, isn't it? I prefer just going on the wrist. If I'm buying some yarn in the shop, I generally like rub it on my wrist just to make sure that it's next to skin softness, because yeah, you want to be able to wear it, even if it's a chunky knit. I still want to be able to wear it with a t-shirt underneath and have bare arms if I want to. So that is my other project that I've started. So let's move on to the whips, shall we? How far have I got with the whips? Not very far. course I haven't. So I have been carrying on with the Aurora cabin shawl, and it may not look very different to you, but I have got more of those done. It's hard to show because literally it's got so many stitches on now. I've held it up the other way so you can see better. So this is the way that it is. So I think I was just starting this band the same as up here, down here, but yeah, not very far, but quite a few hours. I've done a few hours actually knitting on it, but it just doesn't show that much because it takes so long. I think it takes about 20 minutes to half an hour per row on this now because it's so big, but I am enjoying it. And I did find I'll put it over like this. I did find that when I was working on my slipover, I was thinking about this, and yeah, I just really enjoy it. I like having the 4-ply with the bigger needles. I think it's a 3.75 needle I'm using, and it's just a nice relaxed knit. I spoke about it more last time and said that most of the rows it is just like knit 5, slip 1, knit 5, slip 1, just all the way along. So it is quite meditative, and you just get into the flow of it. So yeah, it looks a lot more complicated than it is. And yeah, just really enjoy it. So I will be spending a lot more hours on this now. I've scratched my itch with the slipover. I just needed to do it. You know what it's like. Sometimes you just need to do these things. So yes, still enjoying that, and I shall carry on. I'm on my second ball of the red now. All the yarn that I'm using is Drops Alpaca, 100% alpaca. Really enjoying that. Really loving how that like halo is there. It looks so snuggly and warm that yeah, it fits the brief of like hibernation knitting. This does. Definitely love this. So I shall be carrying on with that, but it's not going to be finished anytime soon, unfortunately. I think though with that shawl, I am going to be sad when it's finished because I've been enjoying it so much. So generally I want the product. I'm a process and a product knitter, so I love the process of knitting, but I want the product. Whereas with that, I do want the product, but I'm loving the process more, I think, than actually wanting it finished. So I think I will be a bit, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if when I finish that one, I'll go back and knit one of his others, because that is the first one like that I've knit. So moving on to my other whip that I have been working on this week, and that is my Woodland Walk socks by This Handmade Life. And so last time I was about there because I wanted to do another repeat because they were a little bit short. I like my socks a little bit longer, and I have got the habit of, because I'm impatient, of not doing them quite as long as I would like them. And I do think I prefer a longer sock. So I thought, right, no, just do this longer so you enjoy wearing them more. So I have come down to the heel flap, turn the heel, and now I've got the gusset stitches going down there, and then got the pattern going down that side. I'll put it. So somebody said in the comments last time that when I put it on like this, they thought, oh, that would make a really good mitt. And I must admit that when I put it on like this before, I thought exactly the same thing, that would be a really pretty mitt as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying those. The pattern is easy to follow on this. The chart, I have actually written them down because I prefer written instructions, especially when I'm watching TV and doing it. I prefer to follow written instructions. I just find it easier to just glance at it and know what I'm doing, rather than trying to follow a chart and brain computing what the symbols mean. If it's just written down, I just find it easier. So yeah, I can do this while I'm watching TV, no problem. So I shall be carrying on with those because they need to be finished. I am doing Year of the Socks, so I want these to be finished before the 1st of February. So I've still got a couple of weeks to go, but I'm on my first sock and I should be I should be probably here on my second sock now. So I should get on with that next week as well. I'm sorry to say that I haven't looked at Foxy at all, so she's still looking like roadkill. So hopefully I will actually put her together next week. That is the plan. So yes, plenty to be getting on with there, haven't I? For somebody who doesn't like a lot of whips, I seem to have accumulated quite a few in one go. I don't know why that happened, but anyway. That's all of the knitting I have been doing. My thoughts have turned to cross stitch. Now, my stepdaughter is going to be getting married in May, and I would like to do her a cross stitch for her wedding. She's not a craft person, but I know she'd appreciate me putting the work in to do something personalised for her. So I'm looking for a chart. I want something that's contemporary, something that isn't fussy. She's not a fussy lace, flowers sort of person. So I wanted something that's more clean lines, and the colour of the wedding, well, the bridesmaids are going to be in green. So I wanted to take that as the colour and maybe just have a monochrome, sort of just a green and the fabric. I've got different types of fabric where the fabric's coloured anyway, so I was thinking about something very simplistic. So I've found some that I like, but if you know of any, if you're a cross stitcher, I know there's quite a few out there, if you are a cross stitcher and you have got a favourite cross stitch wedding pattern, could you let me know what that is so I can take a look at that, because I'm still in the deciding part at the moment. And so I'm open to options, but I don't want to, I'm thinking just keep it small so she can have something out, but it's not, I don't want to do like an 8x10 so she feels she has to display it somewhere if it's not really her thing. But I just thought if I do something small and simple in just a white frame, I thought that might just suit and just be something personal from me to her for her wedding. So that's what I was thinking. So yes, there will be cross stitch coming up because she doesn't watch this channel, so I'm fine, I can share that with you. I still haven't touched any of my ongoing whips on cross stitch. It's not been calling to me at the moment. I did start sort of having a little rummage because I'm guaranteed now I've put my cross stitch away because I wasn't using it. This week I was having a little rummage and thinking, oh, because I was looking at the charts for the wedding sampler, I thought, oh, let's have a look, perhaps I can put a few stitches in. But I thought actually no, because I had so many projects knitting that I wanted to do that I've wanted to do that more than get the cross stitch out. So no, unfortunately not at the moment. Perhaps when I've got some of these projects done, then there'll be something else, won't there? Who am I kidding? There will be more, won't there? Oh dear. Very done eventually. Anything else I've been enjoying? We have been to see Cher at the theatre recently. That was really good. Really enjoyed that. Very well worth going to see if you get the chance. If you are a Cher fan, which I am. I love Cher in the 80s. Obviously she's had a very long career, but it's the 80s that I really enjoyed her music. So I enjoyed that. I've finished Firefly Lane on Netflix. I tried to eke it out for as long as possible because I didn't want it to end because I really loved that. So I enjoyed that. And there was a teaser at the end for the next series. So I'm looking forward to the next series. But unfortunately, that's going to be the last series. So I'm going to have to eke that one out for as long as possible as well. There's not a lot of things that I actually enjoy on Netflix. So if you've got a favourite series, please let me know. I do like Virgin River as well. That's something I really enjoy. But that sort of thing is what I like to watch. Dancing on Ice is back. I've really enjoyed watching that last week and that's on again tonight. So there's some really good skaters already. I really find skating magical, and I prefer that to Strictly. I find the skating is more interesting than just the dancing. So I shall be following that every week. Do you like the skating or do you prefer the dancing? Let me know down below. I think there's more Strictly fans than the skating, but yeah, like I said, just what's something magical about the gliding. I'd love to be gliding. Unfortunately, I roller skated for years as a teenager, but I was still rubbish at it. Perhaps that's why I enjoy it so much, because I know it's something I couldn't do, and I like the thought that I could do it. I don't know. Anyway, yes, dancing on ice tonight again, so I shall be watching that. But apart from that, nothing going on apart from the knitting. So I want to wish you a very happy week. I hope you get a lot of knitting time in, and I'll see you again next week. Bye for now.